Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and me, Crafty Scrapper, here on YouTube and Instagram, gracious. Today I wanted to show you, I have received the number 2 2022 Daphne's Diary, and it's the Easter edition. And you've seen these on the internet, and you've seen these on YouTube and people sharing them. I want to actually make a journal from my Daphne's Diary. So I'm going to take out, you usually get, when you receive the magazine, you usually get a little booklet or a little diary kind of thing with it. So there's that, and then there's a flip out poster in the back, and this one is gorgeous, and it's going to make some very pretty pages for my little journal that I'm going to make with this thing. But I am going to also cut out some ephemera pieces and things like that to accent my pages. Like these little things, I want to cut them out and use them on pages. I think those are very cute. I want to use the front cover, like right about here. I want to cut it, and I want this to be my cover of my journal. I think that is just gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off or tear off my covers. So the front and the back cover I'm tearing off. And I saw where Nina Rabina is doing a little journal with her Daphne's Diary, the same issue of Daphne's Diary. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever. So she's making like a half sheet journal. I'm going to make a smaller one, a little mini. So I want to start with this, and I want to get out my trimmer. And let's go about maybe 8 inches tall. Yep, let's do that. So 8 inches tall. And then I'm going to trim at 8. So I've got 8 inches tall by 8 inches wide. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that little chick and all that floral. Okay, so see, when we fold this over, this is of course too narrow, so we need to add some more to this. And what I'm thinking about doing is kind of what Nina did. She made it a hard cover, and she cut it right down the middle and added in, a middle piece there. So I'm thinking maybe I can do that with this strip here and do my middle. So let's cut it right down the middle, so at 4 inches. Now, if you have never made a junk journal with a magazine, this is your video, y'all. I love making journals from things I would have just thrown away otherwise. So I've cut this, and it is about 3 inches wide. And I'm thinking, let's go ahead and cut this at 8. So we'll have the right height for this also. Okay, so I've got this piece, I've got this piece, and then I have this piece. And I'm thinking that I will just make, do this in half, fold that, and that'll be my spine. And then we'll have some pieces to to connect them. Okay, so we'll figure out what size the journal will make out to be in just a minute, because I have no clue until we put it all together and we get it scored and whatnot. So we've got 4 by 8, 4 by 8, and this is 3 by 8. So I've got some pink and blue, dark blue cardstock, and I'm going to cut them at 8 inches also. We'll try to. I'm just going to get 2 strips, so like a 1/2 inch. Let's just go all the way to 1 inch. Let's do 1 inch, 1 by 8, and then a 1 by 8. Save that for a later project. Okay, so I'm going to join my journal like this. So this is really, really good paper piecing of journal. That's what this is. We're paper piecing journal. I like that. It goes along with that, and I'm not too concerned if it doesn't go all the way to the top, because we're going to be doing so much to this journal it won't even matter. Okay, I want to do, yep, I'm going to do a little torn strip of this pink also. So let's cut it. Let's cut off this first, and then let's cut that at 8. And then I'm going to do it at 1, but then we're going to tear the edge so it won't be 1 inch by the time we get done with it. Okay, so we're going to have it like so, and then have this under it, and it's going to be torn. It's going to have a little torn edge, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Just willy-nilly kind of tear the edge all the way down. So I was excited when I saw Nina Rabina's project that she's doing with hers right now, and I thought, I'm going to do something like that too. So thank you so much for the inspiration, Nina. I love your channel. Okay, so that's going to go underneath these blue pieces. I'm going to go ahead and put on just a little strip of glue, little line, and add that on to the inside of my blue cardstock. And this is just getting me some reinforcement for when I put this down on the journal cover. And then get this one put down. Just a little line will do ya. And get that added on there. This one's going to be a little bit longer than that one. I think I cut this blue just a little short, so that's fine. It's a little bit longer. I'm going to let that dry off to the side. Then we're going to get some score tape. I'm going to get my 1/4 inch, I think this is 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm going to turn everything this way. These are going to go on the outside of my journal cover, so I have it lined up correctly. I'm going to try to line it up on my mat so we can get it pretty straight. I'm going to leave about, what is that, 1/8 of an inch in between, and I'm going to put my score tape down on the very edge of my cover. Okay, and then very edge of that middle spine that we're making, just so that we can get some more width to this journal. And then both sides of that spine, and move everything in the process. And then the one side of the cover. Okay, so when I take the backing off, what's going to happen is we're going to put this down over the score tape. I'm going to put glue all over the back of this, and then we're going to put this down over the score tape and cover up all of that where we are piecing this together. So I'm going to take off that backing and take off this one, and then I'm going to line it up how I need it. It's wanting to bow up on me, so I'm going to turn it a little bit. There we go, like that. Line it up, and then make sure of what side you're going to be putting down, and then put your glue all over the back of your reinforced pieces that you're making. And I'm going to spread that glue out a little bit, just so everything gets nice and secure. Okay, and we make sure that we're lined up, and that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to put that where we want it. And my blue piece is just a little short, like I had already said, but I'm good with how it looks. So I'm going to get my bone folder, kind of go along that and make sure that we're all together. Then I'm going to pull this down some for my sake. Get the cover, the back covers off of that score tape, and then get my reinforced cardstock pieces. I think this was cardstock from one of the E-Club kits that we received not too long ago. And then I'm going to just spread that glue out so all the edges get glue, and maybe nothing will be coming up later. Alright, then we're going to line this up. That looks pretty good to me. And then we're going to put this one down like so, and make sure that we don't move our covers. Okay, and then press that down really good. Alright, so then we have this. Get all the glue off my mat. We have this, okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to score right down the middle with our score pal. Okay, and it looks like, I'm going to scooch it over some, about 5.5 if I come off of this side just a little bit. So I'm going to get, let's get a stylus. And I'm just going to come right down the middle of my spine And hopefully that helps. So maybe it doesn't do a lot of cracking when I fold it over. And I'm not concerned about this naked space here where you can see that cardstock, because we're going to be covering all of that anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to meet my front and back cover and fold that down the middle. So now you've got this piece of the magazine that is you know, going to be turned back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So if you want to reinforce that somehow, now you need to go ahead and do that. I'm just trimming off any excess that I have on the top and bottom here from that cardstock. So now when I fold it over, I have, let's see how wide we've got it now. We're 8 inches tall by almost 5 3/4 wide. I like that size. Very pretty. And I want to trim my corners, round them off. I just like that look. I think that is so pretty. The cover of the magazine this time was gorgeous, which it always is, but that spring little chicken there is just adorable. Love it. Okay, so that's my front cover, my back cover, and then the inside is very busy. It's going to have some stuff to cover it up. I could go ahead and finish out this inside front cover with that. It goes right along with that, and I'm good. Alright, I'm going to put score tape right up against there, and then all the way up against this outside. Fairly Arts glue in the middle where there is not any score tape, and then I'm going to put just a little dab down where that cardstock is just to reinforce that, and then I'm going to go all the way to the edge with this and line that up beautifully. I'm going to press all that down. Gorgeous. And now let's trim that. Okay, so we have a nice sturdy front cover, and now we need to figure out how we want to do the back cover, and I'm really liking that. I could just do that and it would kind of line up, but it's not going to be perfectly lined up. So I think it's pretty. We can always put some washi tape up the middle there. Our backing, we are just sturdying up this cover even more by adding covers on the inside. It helps so this journal is not coming apart. Now, you do not need the Daphne'S Diary magazine to do this. You can use whatever magazine, catalog, whatever that you have. Okay, and think I will line that up here. And all the way to the edge. And then get my bone folder and press that down really well. Okay. Get up any excess glue. And then I'm going to trim off this excess. Okay. And I'm going to get this Tim Holtz washi. And go along this edge. I'm going to take it all the way up, and then I'll trim off any excess, just so that I have a little bit of a break in that design. You know, we had a headless chicken on there, so we want to kind of cover that up. That's what happens though when you are piecing together a magazine or a catalog to make a journal cover. Alright, to even everything up, I'm going to go ahead, even though this design goes right along with each other, I'm going to put a strip of washi down this way also and trim that off. Then I'm going to tear a piece of this dyed muslin fabric about an inch wide. Tear this, and I'm going to do it longer than my journal. So about here, I'm just going to put a little cut into it and then tear the rest of it so I've got a frayed edge. And then I want to reinforce that spine where we're folding, see? So it's going to be on the inside, and then that material is going to show out the top and bottom like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put down a piece of score tape right over where that fold is. So that's going to reinforce it one way. Then we're going to put that fabric over the top of it and reinforce it that way. I'm going to use my bone folder. Really burnish that down. Then take my backing off. Then I'm going to get Fabrifix glue, and I'm going to put all over around the outside of that score tape, and then on the other side of the score tape too. Just to adhere that fabric down really well. Figure out which way you want it. The score tape's really going to stick it, so figure out really quickly how you want it. Then go in with a spatula or a paintbrush or whatever and dab that down, and just try to get all that liquid glue, that Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac or whatever you use, all the way to the edge. Like that. Now, if you come back and you rub that fabric all the way out and you still have some edges that are not laying down, just come in with your Fabrifix right under all of those and get that really laid down well. And once that is good and dry, we will fold it up. and I'll show you how it shows out on the outside edges. First off though, I'm going to use my Walnut Stain Oxide ink, and I'm going to go around all of my edges. Now the Oxide really works for me on glossy papers, so I would definitely use Oxide and not just the regular Distress inks. But if you see that it's not adhering, you can always just rough up the edges of your cover and then go back and do the Distress inking. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to go around all the inside and outside and ink my edges. Okay, I have inked the outside and the inside. I love this so far. And it's true junk journal style because we're piecing together and don't have a set pattern for any of the covers or the way the things are going. That writing's going that way, that so is that, and the writing's going this way. And I love how that's showing out of the top and bottom. You could even put another piece of like lace there and have that just a little bit taller, and you could have some more peeking out of the top. But I think this is a good solid cover. We can start getting some papers together to go on the inside, and I think I'm going to go along with how Miss Nina does hers. She used elastic cord. I don't have any of that, so I've got some lace. I'm going to try that to see if it works. What she did was she put in her signature with elastic, so we've got this to tend with. But I still think even laid back like that, if we've got elastic tied around, I still like that look. So I think we'll be fine. I don't know, I might end up trimming that off, but we still needed it as a helper for that spine on the inside. So let's get some papers. Now I'm going to use some of my food color dyed papers that I did a couple of months back. I showed you how I did those because they go along with this so well. I love the look of these pretty pastel pages. So I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got blue, green, and pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I want to get a few pages from here too. So let's do maybe 3 pages from here. And I want to do this page sideways in there. That is so pretty. So I'm going to tear that out as gently as possible. So there's one. And here's another. Two. That one I want to fussy cut a few of the flowers out of that one, so I don't want to use that one, and it is very busy. And then let's go ahead and use this one. I know this one's busy also, but I love that coffee on there, so let's see if we can get that incorporated somehow. Okay, I'm going to put my cover off to the side, and let's get these pages cut down to fit in this. So, okay, so if we fold this in half, this is just regular copy paper that's been dyed. If we cut this in half, So let's cut the height of our inked pages down to about, let's go like an 1/8 of an inch, under 8 inches, just so it's not sticking out of the top or the bottom. Let's cut all of these that way. Okay, so blue, pink, green. Do it again. Blue, pink, green. Okay, so we'll put these in here. Let's see if we need to trim down any of the pages. I think we might be good. I don't know. We might have to come back and do just a little bit of trimming after we get these pages. So I want the coffee piece in there. And if we fold this in half, okay, yep, it'll be on the back side of a page. So let's fold that. And then trim this end. Let's do 8 1/2, or 1/4 under 8, sorry. And then we're going to trim this. Oh yeah, it could be on the front too. Yeah, I like it like that better. Okay, then we're going to trim this to 5 1/4, maybe. Let's see. That puts us where we need to go. Oh, I think so. Let's do this one in between our blue and green pages. We're going to have to trim those edges. Let's do it like this. I mean, we're going to have to do the corners. We'll have to round the corners of our pages, and I will do that off camera. I don't want to bore you to tears, you watching me trim corners of all pages. Okay, there's another page. We'll get that one put in there in a minute. Let's go ahead and flip this one like that, and then trim off an edge and get that lined up and trim off that edge. I love that. That's gorgeous. Okay, let's see how these look and see if we need to trim off any more. Let's go. Okay, so I've got that piece there after 3 and 3. Okay, so sandwiched in between 3 and 3. So then we're going to put one in the middle, and I say that one is just gorgeous. So let's put that in the middle, and then we can put this one on the outside like this. I love that. So let's line these up and see what we need to do to them. Let's trim. This can be a little smaller than everything else. Let's trim off some of this jagged. I normally like jagged, but that just kind of sticks out too much. And let's wrap that back around and see what that looks like. I like that. So now we need the corners, and once I get those corners trimmed off, I think we'll be fine. as far as our pages. Okay, so the back side, that is so pretty. And then we'll add stuff on the inside if we don't like how that looks. And then that page, how pretty. I love that. And then we should see coffee on that side. Very pretty. And then this page, you open it up and you have that in the center. That is so pretty. Okay, we've got our pages rounded. And then we can even come back in and get a few more that missed the paper rounder punch. I am not too particular on how I get that rounded. If you want to put each page in a corner rounder punch, go for it. I love that. Now, we can add pages to this as we go, because as Nina did, we are just going to tie in our signature right now. So I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 links of this lace, and I'm going to tie it on the outside. So I'm going to put my lace in the middle like that, and then make sure that I have about the same amount, and then I'm going to tie, pull my muslin fabric down, tie it on the spine edge here, and we're going to see how this works. Now, Nina did the elastic cord and she tied it on the inside. I might have to do that with this one, but I was hoping I could get it tied on the outside and have just a little extra character on the outside here. So I'm going to get it as tight as I can without tearing anything. And I'm going to get a bow tied. And let's see how the pages are fitting. Hey, that's actually really, really good. I like that. Okay, I'm going to pull it tight to the middle. And then this way, when we're working in our journal and decorating, we can take the pages out leaf by leaf if we want to. I really like that. Now we can move this however we would like. So then we have this extra little look to our journal already. I really like that. And the pages are not moving that much. Now, if we put in some smaller pages, they'll probably, move around a lot more. But we can always stitch this signature in once we get done decorating everything. So I hope that you liked this video. This is the first in this series of a magazine junk journal. I hope you like this, and you will come back and watch as we add pockets and decorations and all kinds of stuff to finish up this magazine junk journal that we have made using the Daphne's Diary number 2 from 2022, the year 2022, the second in the series of Daphne's Diary magazines. I hope you have enjoyed this. We're going to decorate it more. We're going to add stuff to pages and pockets and inside covers and all of that stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to leave all of Nina Ribina's video links below, who inspired me to do this Daphne's Diary magazine junk journal. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bye, y'all.